Trinesha, Catrell.
Hi, this is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about the heart. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay, so earlier today, I did not read the Bible, but I listened to the Bible. It was totally different for me. I overslept. I know it's like TMI, not everybody needs to know the whole story, but let me tell you where my mindset is. Okay, so I wake up like super duper late, like 9 hours of sleep. My body was tired. Like, I thought that I was fine, and I was like, oh, I'm good. I felt exhausted exercising yesterday, and then last night I just slept through the alarms, through everything. I was knocked out. Like this, you know, I'm gonna tell you this, and you can call it what it is. Call it what you want to call it, right? But this is what it is. So last night I was really feeling exhausted. Like my body was tired, everything. I cleaned the house kind of top to bottom on Monday. And then I worked out afterwards for like an hour and some change or so. And I was just like, after the second set, I was so tired, and I was just like, well, maybe I'm just working out hard because this new exercise program I'm doing really pushes me super hard. And so I was like, okay, it's probably just the exercise. I feel super exhausted, but I should be fine. Everything else. So last night I prayed and I said, God, can you give me rest? I've been struggling to fall asleep at night. Most nights I know I want to get like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I really have been struggling to get rest. I need you. I said, God, can you please give me the best rest that I've ever had in my life? And let me tell you something. You gotta be careful what you pray about, because God gonna come through. Like, you might think it's nothing to you, but I literally have struggled to really fall asleep at night for a long time. I might get the sleep that I need, but it takes sometimes hours. Like, I've been using techniques. Sometimes I do Epsom salt. I do like the bath like thing to kind of calm you down at night whenever I'm like taking a shower, or I'll listen to brown noise. I mean, there's so many methods of things that I have went through to try to help and just shut my whole system down, because I'm so over analytical and I'm always thinking of new ideas and I want to do everything, but I can only do but so much. And I need to focus on one thing, not do 12 things, for real. And so last night, after I said that prayer, I don't remember nothing else. Like, I done slept through alarms. I slept so good. I felt like, you're gonna think I'm corny for saying this, but I felt like Jesus took all his arms, or like God took his arms, wrapped them around me, and it was like a big fluffy pillow, like better than purple, better than any kind of bed, better than any kind of hug you could ever get in your life. I felt like I was asleep in the comfort of God's arms. I don't know how else to describe it but that. But let me tell you something. I woke up this morning feeling like I ain't never rested like that in my life. When you pray, God gonna come through. When you pray, you gotta just be careful about what you praying for. When you pray, know that God hears your prayers. And even though you can't imagine how God is gonna come through, he will come through. So just like me, when I'm praying, God, give me rest last night, and he made sure I had the best rest of my life. That is how your prayers are going to come through and be answered when you pray to God for things in your life. When you have hope and faith, then he just does it. I didn't pray last night and say, oh, but I just can never fall asleep. I just said, God, I need help falling asleep at night, and can you give me the best rest I've ever had? And I ain't think about nothing else besides the pillow. I was out. And man, I don't know if your faith has been low. I don't know if you haven't been believing for the things that your heart desires. I don't know if you prayed to God for something and you're waiting like I am on other things in your life. I don't know if you feel like it's been the hope deferred that has made the heart sick, or if you feel like you have to be so guarded you can't open your heart to other people, or you feel like you've been praying for this thing for so long and it just seems like there's no way that it's going to come true, or God's going to come through, and you just don't see an end result. You can't imagine it in your mind, but sometimes if you just give it to God, God will make sure that he gives you everything that you need. If God can answer a prayer like that immediately, imagine what he can do in your life. Imagine what he can do in all the other areas of your life that you've been praying for. And just because he hasn't done it yet doesn't mean that he won't do it. It just means that he's preparing you or it for you. So sometimes we get a little doubtful in our life because we feel like, well, God didn't do this thing. Maybe it's not for me. No, if God promised you something, he is going to make sure he come through on everything that he promised you. It's just a timing thing. Instead of you thinking, well, I want to be married at 25 and have a kid at 30, and I want to travel the world at 31. God might be saying, listen, I need you to be in purpose at 25. I need you to be speaking to my people at 26. I need you to be working on yourself at 27. And then I'm going to get you prepared to be with your kingdom spouse at 30 or 35, whatever the age is. God is not working on our time. He is working on his time. And when we release our timeline and we give it to God, that is when God starts doing the things that we can't even imagine. Like things that we be thinking in our mind, like, oh, that seems impossible. But then we forget that the scripture says that with God, all things are possible. We forget that when we give it to God, he got it. He don't need us to do nothing besides be faithful, have faith, and just seek his face and just be obedient. After that, God just like, okay, bam, I got this. So when we really just have the faith, even the size of a mustard seed, God can say, okay, watch. When we really just give it to God, God can do exceedingly and abundantly above anything we could ever ask, think, or imagine. We just have to have the faith for it. There was a time in the past where I really felt like I wanted to be guarded for things in my life. And I felt like I just didn't want to open up to anybody. I just had to have this like real hardcore, just wall up so nobody could get in. And God really got on me real quick and was like, how am I supposed to get a blessing to you if the blessing is attached to the people that you won't let in? And I was like, ooh, okay, I understand. I need to be more open to receiving other people, because how could I receive a blessing if I'm so guarded? How could I receive a blessing if you're telling me that I can't get any of these things? If you're telling me that the blessing is attached to these people? And he's right. I definitely had to lower my guard. I could guard my heart, but that does not mean to push people away. That means that I focus on him and he sees me through whatever else it is that I'm going through. So I was in a counseling session earlier, my therapist asked me something that not a lot of people ask people, or if they ask you, they say it with like an attitude, like, what do you want? But she said, what is it that you truly want? What is it that your heart really desires? What is it that you want from this person, place, or thing in your life? Think about that. Like really think about it, not what other people are going to think about what the thing is that you want, not really thinking about how it's going to make you look or what you think about it or any of those things. Really think about the thing that you really truly desire in your life. That dream that you got that you've been saying you're too old to do, or that book that you want to write but you saying 12 other people are writing a book. Don't nobody care about the 12 other people writing a book. I mean, I care about everybody, but I mean, instead of focusing on everybody else, focus on yourself. Write the book if that's what God is telling you to do. It doesn't matter if you and 12 other people are writing it. You're the person who God asked to write this book, so write it. If you're the person who is in purpose to help people, and there's Stu over here helping people too, both of y'all can help people. How about y'all collaborate? And she take this half, you take the other half. It doesn't have to be a versus. It doesn't have to be one against another. It does not have to be division in everything. Sometimes we make it harder on ourselves because we are so used to being in competition that we don't understand that we could all win. We don't understand that guy that woman has is not your man. So go ahead and let God send your man. That job that other person got in the place of you is not your position. The position that God has for you is available humble and open. Everything that's yours in life will be yours, and you will not have to do the most to get it. You just have to be yourself and then be faithful to God. Focus on having hope and knowing that God is going to come through regardless. Like, there's nothing that you have to do but be the person that God created you to receive the things that God has for you. So, when you think about this question tonight and for the rest of this week, think about what it is that you truly want for your life. What does your heart really desire? Is it the job? Is it being married? Is it being in another position? Is it this thing that you so desire in your life? And don't think about anything negative. Just only hope and think about it actually being possible and give it to God. Tell him, God, if it's your will, give me this thing. And God will make it happen, especially if you're not idolizing it, especially if it will not take control over you or your whole life or end in desolate. If it's something that will add value to your life, God is going to make sure that you have it. So keep the hope, keep the faith, and stay focused on God. He will make sure that you get the desires of your heart for those that are called according to his purpose. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. It should be tomorrow because I got a whole plan. Now that I've been getting this rest, I'm going to really be here. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably be here normal time. But I will be here tomorrow and I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for supporting this video. Thank you so much for watching and everything else. It really means a lot to me to know that I'm helping people, that you're really finding value in this content. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.